think Derry Presbyterian Church is a unique church. It's a strong church with a rich heritage. We go back to 1724 when some of those early pioneers in Pennsylvania were worshiping under some mighty oak trees. That's part of our story. But the church is not stuck in its historical past. We're rich in heritage and history, but we're looking ahead to the future, and we're living in the present.
And even though both services are traditional, the 8 and 10:30 service, I think, are vastly different just by the atmosphere they're in. The 8 o'clock service, traditionally in the chapel, looks almost like a small church gathering for worship. About 120 people come. The environment built in 1880, a note of history, a little bit more abbreviated service, some special music, but not near as much as we have at the 10:30 worship service. A little fuller, more attention to young children at that service. More choir participation, I think, at the 10:30 service. And I think that a little bit more contemporary sanctuary. Well, not a little more, quite a different look to the sanctuary, a more contemporary kind of feel to it.
At Derry Church, you can get involved in lots of ways in which your gifts that God has given you help us to be a stronger church, to be a leader. As in all Presbyterian churches, our lay leaders are called elders and deacons. We ordain them and set them apart by prayer and the laying on of hands to be leaders that God has called in the church community. We also have leaders in our Sunday school program who help teach young ones about the faith and the stories of Jesus. Our young people become leaders in the youth group, helping to share the grace and the love of God in youth activities as well. We have leaders in Bible studies, as well as in activities for Presbyterian women, as well as our scouting program that helps to train young men and women to be faithful in their love for God and their outreach to the community.
And growing youth ministry in this congregation that reaches not only the young children, but to junior highs and senior highs and college students as well too. Director of Youth Ministries does a wonderful job. I think reaching young people in this community who are very busy, extremely busy lives, reaches them in a variety of ways. I've been very struck that her goal is not how many young people can turn out to a single meeting, but really it's been gauged by the many variety of meetings. And when all those are totaled, I think we have a very involved group of young people in this church, young disciples who are not only here on Sunday morning, not only present at a variety of educational events, but are also committed to the mission of Jesus Christ as Presbyterian.
We find at Derry that we place a lot of emphasis on the sacraments. In the Presbyterian Church, we have baptism and the Lord's Supper. One of the newest gifts to Derry is an outdoor baptismal font. As long as the weather permits, the fountain flows. It's for the community to be a place of reflection and renewal. But often in the spring and summer, when we have baptisms, we have it outside. At the conclusion of our Sunday morning worship, the whole congregation gathers around the font, and there the community embraces the new one who is being baptized into the faith. The Lord's Supper at Derry is also very important as well. At least monthly, we gather around the sacrament of Holy Communion. All are invited to come. And then each Tuesday evening, we also celebrate the sacrament of the Lord's Supper. These visible signs of God's invisible grace are reminders that God is always present with us. And so we invite you to come and join with us in worship and work at Derry Church.